Sorry.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. The meeting will please come to order. We do approve the posting in accordance with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code as amended, known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. At this time, any members of the public who wish to speak shall each have 5 minutes to address the court regarding matters not appearing on the agenda or on an item on the agenda. The Commissioners' Court may not deliberate or take action on any item that is not posted. Any discussion of the subject must be limited to providing specific factual information, which basically means we can't really comment on it and take any action on anything today that's not on the agenda. So anyone who wishes to speak should have 5 minutes to speak now.
I'd like
Yes, ma'am.
and I'd like to read it if I can. I do better. I'm not worried about talking in public, except on the bench. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge Green. We are all here this morning to right some wrongs for Precinct 2 and 4. We're not here to play the blame game. We are here to do the right thing for my office and Judge Hendrick's office. I apologize for not attending the budget meetings that we had during the course of July. Had I attended, I would have corrected these issues. And it was my intentions to have introduced Judge-elect Jim Lawrence at a budget meeting so that he could see the budget process for next year. First of all, I noticed in the budget, the 1-year inflation supplement on my budget shows a lower amount than the other JP's budgets. And Melissa Gutierrez, my court clerk back there, is not leaving her job. Judge-elect Jim Lawrence has asked Melissa to stay during the transition process and help him. I had asked for $5,000 in part-time help, and this was to help our transition. Jimmy has been on his own time coming up to the office to kind of learn things in the law, and I thank him for that. Melissa should get the full 1-year inflation supplement. She has worked for the county for over 2 years and has helped me tremendously. She will speak on her future and probably answer some questions. It has been brought to our attention that commissioners want to combine JP 2 and 4 in the TIG office and move DPS to the Fairfield office and provide one court clerk for both JPs. This is a blatant disregard for the taxpayers that these offices serve. The Department of Public Safety has been in TIG as long as I can remember. I have been here with the county 26 years and have seen in the past the attempts to combine offices. And the citizens of Precinct 2 want and deserve DPS in our community. We don't want that office taken away. And I'll tell more about that later. It provides the security and safety for Precinct 2. Do not take DPS office from us. Please do not combine the offices of JP 2 and 4. There is not room for both in the TIG office. Commissioner McSwain is the only commissioner that has been in TIG to check out the facilities that I know of, unless somebody came after hours. But I invite any commissioner to come to TIG to look for themselves, and I will have coffee waiting. Don't take the Veterans Officer, Willie Sneedy, from Precinct 2. He is an asset for our veterans and our county and community. I have seen him go above and beyond to help the veterans of our county. I will let him speak later if he wants to. Do not downsize both offices to one clerk. One clerk cannot handle the work of JPs. The Justice Court offices are put in place to provide services for the taxpayers and not to generate revenue for the county. We are busy with civil cases. Civil cases do not provide monies and can have numerous hearings. A criminal case is a time. Okay, one last word. A criminal case is usually handled without a hearing, but provides monies for the county. With only a new JP and one fairly new JP, the one clerk would be extremely overwhelmed trying to keep up with what is expected of both offices. It cannot be done. I've done this for a long time, and I just don't think it's going to work. We want to put in on the agenda for the next Commissioners Court meeting on September 7th to correct these issues. Finally, I want to introduce JP2, Jim Lawrence. He's JP2-elect, and he will be sworn in January 2023 when I retire. You have taken away his clerk without discussing the impacts to everyone in Precinct 2 and 4. As elected officials, we all serve the people who voted us in, and they expect for us to do the right thing. And thank you for your time.
I'd like to say a couple words too, and I'll use some of her time, or she used a little bit of mine, that's good. When I went through the primaries, and won the primary elections in that Republican, my first stop was to visit with Debbie and visit with Melissa. Debbie had told me that Melissa was going to leave at some point in time. Melissa committed to me that she would do everything within her power to stay until we got somebody trained. Well, it appears that there's not very much money budgeted. You know, I'm going to be new. You know, as Debbie said, the others are new. If I go in that office without a clerk, I mean, it's going to be a train wreck. I mean, because I don't think I can learn all there is to do and do the clerk, or do a lot of the clerk work too. So I wish, you know, you'd relook at that deal and see, you know, to me, the ideal situation would be if we had Melissa stay maybe to the middle of the year. I mean, she doesn't really know yet when she would like to leave, and then be able to hire a part-time person to learn as much as she could during that whatever period we had with Melissa. But, you know, to have a new JP go into that office, and I've spent quite a bit of time there with Debbie, and I don't want to hurt your feelings or anybody else's, but I've seen enough to know that the clerk does about 75% of the actual work in the JP office. I mean, the JP's got the authority to sign papers, but the clerk's the one that does a whole lot of the work. And to run that office, or any office, or to try to combine two offices and let one clerk do it, I just don't know how good that's gonna work. But anyway, I'll give my time to somebody else.
I can speak now. Just to clarify, it's budgeted for that one clerk to serve you as well as the other JP, is the way it's budgeted, so you wouldn't be without a clerk.
Well, I understand that, but
Yes,
if you got one person doing the job of two, when there's a lot of stuff that clerk does.
No, I was just
actually-
clarifying, you said you wouldn't have a clerk, I was just
Well,
clarifying
yeah,
the
and
way the
I understand
budget
that.
is right now, but.
Still, you're sharing as clerks, where both clerks, I'm assuming, are equally as busy, and even the clerk is not real experienced. So, you know, you're gonna have, yeah, I understand that, though.
Thank you.
I'd like to speak now. I'm Lisa Harris, precinct 4, just so please. As far as the clerk goes, my clerk has been there less than a year. She still has a lot to learn. I was the clerk for 9 years before, and that is a huge workload. I don't even know if I can handle 2 offices. I think it's completely wrong that y'all would force her to do 2 jobs and get paid for 1. I do feel like the moving of the offices is a burden to myself, my clerk, and the citizens. I really can't believe any of that was discussed without us being here. I believe that as elected officials, we do deserve a phone call to let us know that something is going to be discussed at Commissioners Court. And I have been speaking with Catherine with TAG, and she did advise me that I'm the one that has the authority over my clerk's workload. Thank you.
Everybody knows me, I'm Constable in Precinct 2. I heard by just reviewing the Commissioner Court video that all this was going to happen, that the movement was going to be made. And that once it would be made, that if it needed to be adjusted, it would be adjusted afterwards. But I was fortunate to have a nice office, and I'm not going to complain about it. And moving the DPS out of the office, they do a tremendous job. They're always there. I told them that no matter what happens, wherever you put me in the closet, wherever I'm at, my office is their office if they need it. The thing is that I do have a lot of people that come in and see me, and they call me to deal with problems. And I have to have an office to deal with that situation. It would be like taking both district judges and putting them all in your office and saying, you know, that's the way it's going to be. But
They do share an office.
I know, but I mean, they're not all in one office, like I'm saying. If they move me into the other side of the building, that's fine. Whatever happens. I can say that there isn't enough room in there because they use the vault to keep all the records. And so I don't know where you would put all the stuff, even if you put both offices together. And if you're going to hold, Zoom hearings, you have the 2 judges in there at the same time. That'd be pretty tough to deal with. And putting the burden on the clerk, I can say, people, I don't know if you know it, she's got a bachelor's degree in engineering. She doesn't have to work, but she does it because she loves her job and she loves the county. But she's doing a tremendous job, and to not have her there would be kind of crazy. Now Willie, as a vet, I'm a Vietnam era vet, and it's a slap in my face if there's not enough allocations of funds for the year for a person to be there to take care of the vets. We as vets, we have somebody to represent us, to help us out. And so I think it'd be wrong to do anything different on that. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm sure you'll all figure that out. That's about all I can say. Really appreciate your time.
I'm just going to speak on behalf of being in the position of the court clerk and what it entails. And like Dan said, I do have a 4-year degree, and I worked in industry for 15 years as an engineer, worked as a construction manager, I worked as an operations manager. And this job has its own set of challenges too. It's not easy. I mean, maybe I came in and was able to acclimate a little quicker than maybe somebody that didn't have any prior experience. But I will tell you, initially, it was like drinking from a fire hose. You have to know the law, as much law as the judge does, so that you can answer people's questions when they come in and ask about the processes. I just feel like it would be overwhelming for a fairly new clerk to be helping out a new judge and a fairly new judge do that job. I mean, it's more than just paperwork. Sometimes I'm the janitor, sometimes I'm the guy staying there while somebody comes to work on the building. Sometimes I'm, a counselor. I can stand at the window for 30 to 45 minutes, listen to somebody vent, while the phone's ringing 2 or 3 times. So it does entail a lot, and I believe with my previous work experience, I can say that this job is challenging in its own ways, and that it would be difficult for that person to effectively service 2 precincts as a court clerk. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all for this moment. I'm not really a speaker, but I would like to speak on my behalf. I'm Willie Sneed. I'm the Veteran Service Officer. Initially, when I took this job, I was given 29 hours to do the job. Then I got cut back to 20 hours to do the job. I have presented for the judge all the work that I've done in a little over a year's time. I didn't realize how many veterans were here in this county. It's like they're coming out the woodwork. I was doing the 29 hours. My pay was set at one stage.
Actually, it was set at 20 hours a week.
Well, initially, Judge, respectfully speaking, when you and I and Commissioner Lang talked, we had said 29. I don't know if you remember that or not, but it was actually set at 29 when we first initially talked. And then it got changed to 20. But regardless of that, nobody knows what goes on with me. I have veterans come into my house. I help them. I have veterans come in after hours. I help them. I work on the weekends. I even have veterans that I go to their house and help them. I've never asked for more hours. I've never asked for more money or anything, because I feel it's a responsibility I should do, because I'm a veteran myself. And I even take veterans to the doctor. They don't have sufficient rides or something. We don't have in Freestone County transportation for veterans. So I will even take them to the doctor. I'm not asking for more money. I'm not asking for more things. But as of last Monday, I was told there was no more money to supply the veterans. And I could not go back to work. Well, I could go to work, but I only had like 100 and some odd hours until October 1st, which I'd already done half of those. So basically I'm on 46 hours. And as of last Monday, regardless of what I was told I couldn't do, I'm still working and helping veterans, because they're still calling. So I don't know what to tell them. I can't help you until October 1st, but meantime, I'm still calling. And then the last thing that I would like to say is, respectfully speaking, according to the Texas Commission of Veterans Law, I'm supposed to report to the commissioners. The commissioners are supposed to know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, so I would respectfully ask that whatever commissioner would like to, all 4 of you, if you'd like, I will show you what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, so our veterans of Freestone County can feel like they're somebody also. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else? All right, we'll go to item number 1, which is to accept the TDA grant fund, Meals on Wheels, awarded to senior services in the amount of $5,761.65 and $3,007.36. Motion to accept those.
Second.
All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 2 is budget transfers and amendments. And we have a certification for those funds that we had just talked about. And then we have a list of budget line item transfers and budget amendments.
to approve the budget transfers and amendments.
and accept the certifications.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll say.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 3 is the imposition of optional fees for the calendar year 2023 for the Texas Department of Motor Vehicles. Dan suggests no change on those fees.
You need a motion?
Yes.
I'll make that motion. Okay.
I'll say.
All in favor, aye? Motion carried. Item number 4 is to discuss communications. Who is going to begin the discussion? Leonard, all right?
All right, so we had a few issues. Let me rephrase that. Over the last 3 years, since probably our better part of 2019, would you say? We've been trying to work with dispatch, sheriff, trying to make some changes to help all the officers and the fire departments and EMS within the county.
Let's take a short recess. Let me see if I can get the sheriff and see if
Okay.
he can be over here so we
Okay.
can be a part of our discussion. Let's take a short break.